that 100% freedom you're talking about,
Yeah.
then that means they'd have to go back. They have to change the lifestyle they're living now, and people are not willing to do that.
Which change the lifestyle? What do you mean change the lifestyle?
Because I mean, if you look at the South African government,
Yeah.
basically, people are saying the government, but if you actually go into it, you realize that the economy is not in the government's hands.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of investors, white people, white
Yeah.
investors.
Yeah.
So now if you chase all those investors
Yeah.
saying because you want the freedom of the country,
Yeah.
that means running, because the people that you're going to appoint,
Yeah.
if we're still saying they have that stigma, you
Yeah.
know, they're not able to run that country as it is, then they're gonna have to, you know, it's like going back in time.
Yeah.
So then they're gonna have to live the lavish lives that they're living. You know?
Okay.
And then it'll have to be built sort of from the beginning.
Nah.
And as long as people are not willing for that, you know, it's hard for it to be possible.
You guys spoke earlier that Africans are not free, right?
Yes.
That's what you said. Now, if we're not free,
Yes.
we have to fight for freedom, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, you made a point about investors, whatever. Now, this country and the rest of Africa come from centuries of oppression.
Yes.
There is nothing the Europeans have that they built by themselves.
Yes.
All these centuries of brutal, inhuman, cruel oppression that is going on today,
Yes.
which means whatever they have does not belong to them. If you build things through crime, it does not belong to you. If you enslave people to build a big house like the Union Building, if the police arrest you, they take that house, they give it to those victims. You know that?
But again,
I said, do you know that?
Yes.
Which mean, in a logical term, because when the Europeans said they fit here,
Yes.
around in Africa, generally around 1500,
Yes.
they had none of the things they have today. There was no cars, no aeroplane, no cell phone, no nothing. The entire progress is the result of centuries of oppression. Logically speaking, we can seize all that they claim to be theirs because it was built by the sweat and the death and so many centuries of our people. Now, talking about investors and stuff, government has power to nationalize things. That means the current operating mine can be nationalized, the police force or the army is deployed there and nothing moves, and then things continue to run like they're running, you understand, and it becomes state-owned. They have that power. So the fucking investors, so-called investors who are oppressing us, because if we are not free because of them, they can pack their bag and go, or without suitcase. And then we don't only have European in the world. There are many other races that are also opposing European hegemony, like the Chinese, the North Korean, the Iranians, and so others who have skills. And if we don't have the skill, and we also have racially mixed Americans who identify themselves as Black Americans, and who have skills, and we have other American Caribbean, African American Caribbean, African whatever, and African in France, African in UK, we can always advertise those who have this kind of skill. We want you to take over here. But it means the perception that the investors are not feeding us. That's why we're in poverty. So if you have an investment in my land and we are not eating, we are starving, our young girls are forced to sleep around to make hand meat, you don't have any job in our land. If we are not benefiting, you will not be there. We rather suffer without seeing you than seeing you enjoying on our back while we're suffering. That is a logical approach of looking at things from our perspective for our interests. Anything that looks at the interests of so-called investors who are nothing but colonialists, who could do nothing without centuries of inhuman crime. Even today we are locked up in the world where we have to do everything for them. It's a non-starter. Yeah, you can go on.
You know, yeah, I see what you're saying, but if you have to look at the end, it all revolves to the mindset that we still have, you know, because nothing can be done unless our mindset is first changed, because we are enslaved.
Very interesting.
Until we free our mindsets, that's when we are able to act. Because if you look at just an average black person,
brown, you know, you look brown.
African
even
person.
black.
Yes.
No, if we're using color, we should use what the people see. Your eyes, your color looks brown, your hair looks black. And these people are not white. White will be like that car parked there or that car parked there. This is all part of the mindset these people keep us in. But anyway, that was just for the show.
Yeah, just to say, as well as black, you know, I think like for me, I've changed it into something that's positive, something I'm proud of, even if I'm not really of black. But although it was used as an insult to me, but now I've changed that since we're able to accomplish all of that we're slaved under, you know, like, so being black, referred to as a black person, still I'm proud.
Now, logic says if barbarians who came from Europe,
because if we look at white people as well, they're not white, they're pink.
Exactly, which is racist. White is the opposite of black. Black is supposed to be negative, and white is supposed to be positive. So it's part of the racist order we live in. Now, if barbarians who enslaved our forefathers and who keep us under total hegemony and enslavement, a form of enslavement, impose you names which is a crime, because no other human can define you or name you. You understand? Okay. Then you have the right to say fuck off with that name. We won't take it. So you don't need to turn it into positive. You just have to kick it out, because the name itself was named by inhuman people.
But you see, if I keep looking at it as a negative thing, there's always gonna be someone who's gonna call me a black person.
I'm saying the name was imposed by barbarians. People who did slavery, apartheid, and all kinds of barbarians. You know, we use logic. We don't fabricate anything. We use exactly as it is. I know many Africans still have that mindset of worshipping the pink people. But here we don't worship in the show. We say things as they are, unless somebody can prove me wrong, that I'm lying or I'm being unjust. You understand? Now, if pink people impose a name to demonize brown people, which is black, and then we have the right as a people to reject that name. Nobody can stop us from doing it. It is us who must name ourselves. That's a fact. The name black is a racist name, was imposed during oppression to associate us to negativity, and all the time we grew, we know it sounds negative, we know it's negative, we know it's designed to vilify us. Then we have to reject it. So you as a human being have the right to use how you look to call yourself and to call fellows, and it's just your mindset that must. Now it's up to you to make the effort to say you brown and repeat it all the time and say you brown, and that's how it goes. I call us brown people. I don't waste time repeating what barbarians say. And then barbarians, because they continue to do us wrong even when they have done wrong in the past, but many won't agree because they're still in their mindset. But anyway,
I think we'll come back to that later. I just want
you want to just finish what you want to say.
The point I was saying, you know, about
protect